All right, let's talk. You've got the drive, you've got the skills, but your business is just stuck. You tell yourself you're meant for big things, but when it's time to act, it feels like you're just stuck in the mud. And that's not a talent problem. That's a set of subconscious lies, limiting beliefs that are poisoning your growth from the inside. These are invisible scripts running in the background, telling you what's possible from what's impossible. And because you believe them, that's all you get. They're just silent killers of your true potential. I've coached a lot of entrepreneurs over the time, and I see this all the time. The biggest thing holding them back really isn't the economy or the market or even their team. It's the battle going on in between their own two ears. But here's the truth. Business success is 80% psychology and only 20% mechanics. The game is won or lost in your mind. But the good news, these beliefs can be dismantled. So today, I'm going to give you a 3-step roadmap, not just mindset fluff, but a real tangible process to rewire your internal operating system. If you're ready to stop being the bottleneck in your own business, stay with me. Hi, my name is Christian Graham, co-founder of Mericross Media and the MK Lab, and business authority coach to 6, 7, and yes, even 8-figure entrepreneurs. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to dismantle the limiting beliefs that are quietly sabotaging your growth and replace them with the empowering truths that free you to scale your business with confidence. Before you can break out of a prison, you've got to realize that you're even in one in the first place. Limiting beliefs are the invisible bars. And these convictions feel like facts, but really, they're just lies, programmed to you by your past failures, family scripts, and cultural noise. And they're running your life without your permission. Your subconscious has one job: survival, not growth, not impact. So every time you step forward into something new, hiring, scaling, even launching a new business, your subconscious is screaming, "This is unsafe. Don't go here." That's why procrastination shows up. That's why perfectionism paralyzes you. That's why imposter syndrome whispers that you're a fraud, even with the proof you're qualified to do. Let's make it practical. You get a brilliant idea, but spend 6 months researching instead of launching. That's not planning. That's a limiting belief. I'm not ready yet, right? You land a big client, but feel anxious they'll figure out that you're a fraud. That's a worthiness lie, strangling your success. The cost? You take smaller risk, you charge less, you stay in cycles of burnout, and every time the false belief feels more true. But here's the good news. Once you drag those lies into the light, their power evaporates. That's step 1. Now that we've exposed the cage, let's talk about strategy. How do you actually dismantle the bars and break free? So here's how you do it. Overcoming limiting beliefs isn't about thinking positive. That's fluff. It requires a structured approach. So here's a 3-step framework. Step 1, find the lies. Step 2, put them on trial. And step 3, starve them with action. Step number 1, find the lies. You can't fight an enemy that you can't see. Most of these beliefs are so normal to you, you don't even notice them. So grab a notebook and start with these 3 prompts. The goal resistance prompt. Write a business goal, then list every reason it feels impossible. Those reasons are your beliefs. Step 2, track the exact thoughts that hit you when you feel fear or doubt. And step 3, write down every "I should" thought statement. They almost always mask deeper lies. Then take every surface level fear, like "I can't raise my prices," and ask why 5 times. By the 5th why, you'll uncover the real root. "I feel like a fraud because I don't have a degree. This was really one of mine." Or, "They're more qualified than me. I'm young, so they won't hear me." These were all the lies that I once told myself. And once you see it, you can name it. But here's a tip. Build a master list of your limiting beliefs. Seeing them on paper creates separation from those thoughts. Because the truth is, you are not those thoughts. You are the one observing them. And that's where true freedom begins. And by the way, if this process is hitting home, make sure you subscribe, because in upcoming videos, I'll be breaking down specific beliefs like imposter syndrome or fear of failure in detail. You don't want to miss those. All right, let's jump into step 2. Cross-examine the lie, aka put them on trial. A belief is just a story you've repeated until it feels true. Now it's time to drag it into court. Ask yourself these questions. Is this belief factually true? Is this what God has to say about it? Show me the hard evidence. Where's it at, right? Because feelings don't count as facts. What evidence contradicts this, right? Write down proof that you are capable. Your client results, testimonials, skills others don't have. How is this belief protecting me? Usually it's shielding you from risk of failure, but really you have to ask yourself, what's this belief costing me, right? Is it authenticity, money, opportunities, peace of mind? And then finally, reframe it into a bridge of belief, right? Not fantasy, but real truth based. What does God have to say about this? So something like your old lie saying, I don't have enough experience. And you can reframe this into saying, my fresh perspective and speed are advantages. Every project adds to my value. Write these reframes down, read them daily, and then you'll start to rewire your brain on purpose. How do we know if beliefs are also factually true? We need to take it back to scripture, right? Which presents absolute truth versus worldly relative truth. Ask yourself, is this coming from me or is it coming from the Spirit? And is it coming from truth? If God is at the center of this essence in our heart, then the lies and limiting beliefs will spew and overflow. That is why in Proverbs 4:23, we're warned to guard our hearts, for everything we do flows from it. If your heart is filled with lies and deceit and not with God at the center, then it won't bear vast fruit, or it's going to produce some sour fruit, right? Because it's coming from a sour vine. But thinking new thoughts isn't just enough, right? Because you don't necessarily have to do all of that work, right? God can reveal it to you yourself as well. And the final blow really comes from the action that you put with intentionality towards God. So step 3 is starve the lie. Get the proof through your action. You see, beliefs die when you give your brain hard evidence that contradicts them. Confidence doesn't come first, faith does. And after faith comes action. So take minimum viable actions, small, scary steps that create undeniable wins. If you fear the rejection in sales, start with 5 low-stakes emails, then 1 phone call, then 1 pitch. Collect as many no's as you can until they lose their sting. If perfectionism keeps you stuck, launch a beta version and set a deadline to it. Done is better than being perfect. If you believe that you must do all of it by yourself, document 1 repeatable task and then delegate it, right? Prove the business doesn't collapse without you. And here's a pro tip. Track all of these small, measurable actions, and each small win is another nail in the coffin of your old belief. Here's something else that I encourage you to do. You need to build your support system. You can't do it all alone. Trying to dismantle beliefs solo is like doing surgery on yourself. Possible, but painful and unnecessary. You need mentors, you need community, and you need an environment. Mentors will spot the blind spots that you can't. They hold you accountable and lend their belief until yours catches up. Most likely because they've already been in your shoes at one point. And then the environment shapes your fruit. Audit your top 5 influences. Do they reinforce your responsibility or your limitation? Community normalizes your ambition. So join masterminds or groups where big goals are the norm, and change your inputs and your outputs will follow. So let me know in the comments, what's one limiting belief that you've identified today? Writing it out is the first step to disarming it. So to recap, today we exposed the invisible cage, limiting beliefs. We walked through the framework, find the lies, put them on trial, and then starve them with action. And we also saw that there is power in support through mentors, your environment, and community to accelerate your growth. You see, you're not lazy, you're not unworthy, you're not broken, you're just running on an outdated programming. And today, I hope I gave you that upgrade. Now it's time to act. Your business doesn't grow faster than you do. So dismantle the lies, choose the truth, and step into the future that you were created for. And if this breakdown gave you value, I want you to do 2 things. Hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss another episode or building on the movement that we're doing right now. and subscribe to The Turnkey, my free newsletter that dives deep into the unlocking biblical wisdom towards your calling, assignment, purpose, and stewardship to achieve your most opportune, God-given potential. The link is in the description. As always, stay blessed, stay grounded. Let's grow. Peace.